Hey y'all, it's Caitlyn. So I'm gonna try this camera angle since the last time I tried to do a custom video, the angle looked horrible. So this is the first time I'm gonna be sculpting and doing stuff mainly through the camera lens more than actually looking at it in real life. So we'll see how good this goes. So James texted me and was like, I want another of your customs. And I said, okay, do you want a pop? Do you want one of these? Or do you want a janky? And he said one of these. And he said if I can turn it into Chainsaw Man. James wants me to try to turn this thing into a chainsaw demon. So I'm gonna try. I'm gonna give it a shot. I got a game plan in my head. So first things first, I'm gonna take these gigantic ass ridiculous cutters and cut off these horns. So I got the epoxy sculpt mixed. The hard part is gonna be his mask, right? So what I wanna do is kind of go fully around the head, stop back here, because I still want it to look a little bit like a unicorno in the end. And I do have water next to me to smooth the clay down. I got it mainly covered. I'm gonna try to smooth it out as much as possible. Then I'm gonna start carving and molding into it a little bit. So for his evil grin, I'm actually not gonna be sculpting it on because I feel like I just couldn't sculpt that many teeth and make it look good. So I'm just gonna sculpt where it should be and then I'll paint it inside of it. So I got it lined out the way I want. So now I'm just gonna try to pick the clay away without taking it all off. And I'm gonna try to make it a little bit more sharper of an edge right here. So it's not like a full curve. It's like more of a peak right here. So I'm gonna build it up and then a little bit on the chin here too. And to do that, I'm just gonna roll some clay in my hand, make it a little thinner. And I'm gonna put it across and then just start shaping it and blending it in to the top. So one thing I'm noticing here is obviously this is very top heavy. I might have to create some kind of base for it. All right, so I went ahead and just kind of re-sculpted it just a little bit, made the mouth a little bit bigger because those teeth are gonna be a very big part of it. So now what I wanna do, make large slit. Okay, so we got the little crevice for the chainsaw. So what I'm wanting to do now is make the two handles for the chainsaw. So I'm definitely gonna have to make some kind of base or something for this thing. So there's one that goes this way at the top and then there's one that goes this way on the bottom. What I'm kind of wanting to do is the same thing I'm wanting to do for the chainsaw itself. I'm gonna go ahead and sculpt them, measure them to make sure they fit, and then take them off and let them dry on here. For here, this clay does adhere to it, so this is all going to stick onto the figure once it's fully dry. But it'll be, with it being in its malleable stage, it'd be kind of hard to make it look straightish here. So I'm just gonna try and do it by itself, make sure it fits, and then glue it on later. Okay, so something about like this. And there's one, it's not quite on there straight, but it's on the curve, and that's what matters. All right, now for chainsaws. Obviously, we're gonna have one larger one sticking out here, a piece, and I'm just gonna use a Posca pen here. It's a bit of a roller. I think this is probably the proper length for the proportion. Let's try to make this a little bit more circular. All right, so I'm just gonna keep it curved like this for now, or straight like this for now, without putting the spikes on. Obviously the slit that I made is curved and this is not. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna flatten it out, let it dry like this, glue it into the little slit. It's not gonna fit perfectly, but then I can put in some more of this, make a little bit up, or even put some hot glue or something on there and make it go seamlessly in. Now I need to make the littler ones for his hands. So I do want to make these not super accurate because I want to make these a little bit more bulkier. So that's the way I'm kind of gonna leave it right there. And I am gonna put this one right on the leg, as you can see, so it can adhere to it. And you can't preserve this, by the way. I'm gonna try to make something a little, or maybe I can go ahead and make the stand. Hang on. Okay, so that's big enough. Okay, so I made a little square, and that's all that's really needed. I'm going to press into here, and you can see some edges here. I don't really care about that. I can sand this kind of clay, you can sand down. But I want to make that impression in it. Okay, so it's the next day and everything is fully dry. I'm going to mask up and sand some of these pieces down a little bit and try to make it more chainsaw looking thing. So I actually got my electric nail filer here. I'm gonna try to make these little divots in it. Try to make it look a little bit more like a chainsaw. So you can see me doing one side of it, it made that jagged edge. Okay, so both the main chainsaw and the smaller chainsaws have been jaggified, I guess you could say. Now, let's see, where's my glue here? I'm definitely gonna have to do this in parts because I can't sit here and just hold all this stuff all day, so I'm gonna have to rig something up to hold it. Okay, I'm just holding my phone right now because it's a hell of a lot easier. So this thing is glued on. As you can see, didn't meet the curve. I wasn't planning for, I didn't think it would. So I'm gonna get some more clay and just bulk up this area just a little bit. And then I'm also going to get, there we go. And then I'm also going to get a little bit of clay and put it on where this is gonna go. So I'll have a little bit more hold. And then I'm gonna stick this into the clay that I put down. It'll harden. And then I'm going to put some glue around it once it hardens. All right, so I think now we can finally start painting. I'm just gonna try to put like a base coat over at least most of it. So I'm gonna put a nice blue. Did I say blue? A nice red, wow. All right, so this is gonna be his shirt. And I'm gonna go down fairly far. This isn't actually how far his shirt is gonna go down. And even though the back and the wings and stuff are already white, I am going to go over them just to make sure it's all cohesive at the end. All right, so pretty much all the rest of it is going to be painted black. After I go over all of this with black, the part where I have to go over with metallic, it'll actually pop out a lot more. Okay, so here's how the full thing looks with just one coat of paint. I'm going to leave this here, let it completely dry, and then I'm gonna go in pretty much with one color each. Again, I just did it like a crash course here of it to show you guys the base plan in a bit. So I will come back once it's time for details. Okay, y'all, so as you can see, I made a little boo-boo right here, but I'll fix that up in a second. But I want to show you, but you can see just how vibrant it already is going up against the black. After a couple coats, this is gonna be just pure nice silver color. All right, so I don't even know if I was filming during all that. I don't think I was, but it's time for the details. And I just started by putting on the lines. There's one larger one on either side, and then 3 smaller ones. But he has a little necktie, a little almost rectangle kind of shape. There we go. There's his little tie. All right, now the teeth, and it's just got a ton of like jagged teeth. So I'm just gonna kind of and just start working in a lot of like pointy teeth and try to make it as pointy as possible. Next, I'm gonna get my darker metallic and I'm gonna slightly go over the edges. Very lightly going around here. I don't necessarily want it to be pure this color, so I'm just barely going lightly around. All right, and I did the same thing to the smaller blades as well. So now there's really just 2 more things to do, and that is painting on the shoes and the hands. So I'm using an older style unicorn. I don't know how many people noticed. The newer ones don't have this, but the older ones have these itty bitty teeny tiny grooves for the hooves. You see that? Where there's like an indentation to where the actual hoof is supposed to be. So I'm gonna use that as a guide. So I'm gonna put this flesh tone for the hands. Then I'll use this light brown color for his shoes. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Again, I'm gonna have to go through with some details. You can see there's a few black strays here. The shirt and the pants aren't even right here. Still needs another coat of white in some spaces. You can still see a little bit of that blue coming through. And then you just need a varnish. I'll go ahead and do the touch-ups off camera. By the way, here's how the base looks. I'm probably gonna keep it like this. I only put 2 coats of it and it kind of makes it look kind of distressed metal. Okay, y'all, here it is fully done. It's got 2 coats of varnish on it, and it is looking pretty good. So all I gotta do is wrap it up and send it to James. I have been sending him pics of it throughout the process, so he's happy with it. I did glue the base on. I asked him if he wanted it glued on. He said yes. I didn't really mean for it to be this wonky, the base, but honestly I think it kind of leans to it, and I did shave it off to make it a little bit more even. But I think this thing came out great. When he first asked me about it, I was like, how the hell am I gonna do this? But I think it turned out really, really good. So let me know what you guys think, and yeah, I will be packing this off and send it to James. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below, and remember, like always, y'all, it's a community, not a competition, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.